Good morning. Today is Tuesday, January 28th, 2020, and you're watching the Daily Mix TV. Hi, my name is Sean Patrick Hillman. Apologies that we didn't have an episode yesterday. To be honest with you guys, it was just such a crazy day, and time just got away from us. So let's get this party started, shall we? Unfortunately, we have to begin this week with the tragic news that NBA legend Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, were among 9 killed in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California on Sunday. Back in 1996, Philadelphia native Kobe Bryant became the youngest athlete to join the NBA. He went on to win 5 NBA titles with the Lakers, in addition to 2 Olympic gold medals. Now, he was remembered on Sunday at the Grammy Awards, the same day that he passed away, at the Staples Center, which is now affectionately known as the house that Kobe built. There have been an outpouring of tributes and salutations to the Bryant family as well as to Kobe himself over the last couple of days. And last night, the Empire State Building lit up in Laker colors to honor the legend. So rumor has it that he is going to he's going to enter the NBA Hall of Fame this year without a vote. And currently there's over 1 million people asking the NBA to change the NBA logo to a silhouette of Kobe Bryant himself. Speaking of the Grammy Awards, artist Billie Eilish broke all sorts of records at the Grammy Awards on Sunday, walking away with all 4 of the top prizes: album, song, record of the year, and best new artist. The 18-year-old is the youngest person ever to do so. She also won the award for best pop vocal album. You know, it's interesting to note that the Grammy Awards on Sunday lost 6% of viewers year over year. The ratings just came out this morning. Even with someone like Alicia Keys, the challenge really becomes, are award shows still relevant today? Given the controversies around the Grammys this year, specific to their now suspended CEO and the one who is sitting in her place, as well as the accusation that frankly, the awards are nothing more than a pay-to-play scheme. I have a feeling that it's going to be an interesting year in music, to say the very least. The wait for FedEx ground deliveries on Sunday is over. The new service launched Sunday as the shipping giant hopes to go head-to-head against Amazon and the heightened demand for 24/7 deliveries. UPS similarly began its own Sunday delivery service on New Year's Day. Now, here are some scary facts for you. Amazon will deliver 6.5 billion packages per year by 2022. That's compared to UPS's 5 billion and FedEx's 3.4 billion packages, according to a recent Morgan Stanley report. Now, this should really tell you something, folks. We are ordering way too many things we don't need. I mean, seriously, think about this. Now, from a business perspective, all jokes aside, at the end of the day, Amazon is a business. And for them, the carrot used to be free shipping. Now it's next day shipping for free. Okay, so it used to be 2 or 3 day for free. Now it's next day. And at one point, they removed FedEx Ground from their service offering because they felt it was taking too long and tracking wasn't working. It was too expensive for their bottom line, those kinds of things. Now FedEx is back as part of Amazon, but FedEx is still trying to go head-to-head against them with respect to daily shipments. The streaming giant's next target market? Your pet. Spotify introduced a tool that can generate tailor-made playlists for the animals in your life, and they're not the only ones. Amazon Prime offers a selection of television programs geared for animal entertainment. There are apps specific to animal entertainment that you can download for Apple TV, Fire TV, and so on. So when you look at pet-tainment, I guess is a better phrase, offerings in the market, the question becomes, is it simply a marketing tool to target the humans that own those pets? Well, the answer is of course. I mean, at the end of the day, I remember back in, it was the late 90s or the early 2000s, my father, Patrick Hillman, had proposed the notion of Pet TV to PetSmart for in-store programming. The idea was to distract the pet long enough to get the human's attention. From a psychology perspective, it ladders up, makes all the sense in the world. When you look at an industry that is currently commanding tens of billions of dollars in revenue, I mean, I think the last number I saw was somewhere north of 70 billion, in terms of what pet parents spend total on their pet. And targeting them with an entertainment module makes all the sense in the world. So I have a feeling we're going to start to see more and more of this kind of programming in 2020 and 2021. Here's why I say that. Growing up, I had pugs, and one of them, if an animal crossed the screen, he would go crazy. My dogs now, Snickers and Rolo, they could care less. They don't pay attention to this TV. They don't care. But what they do love is music. So it's interesting when you look at that sort of juxtaposition. Small dogs tend to watch TV, big dogs don't, at least in my house. So when you think about that, what's the next natural step in evolution marketing around pet owners? So I would look more to stores like Petco and PetSmart and so on to push programming like this out in partnership with maybe an Apple TV, maybe a Fire TV, maybe with one of the streaming services, that kind of thing. We're going to start seeing a lot more of this in the next year or two. And I only say that because, excuse me, spending on pet has grown exponentially year after year after year for the last 10. So the next natural step is to target the pet owners through their pets through entertainment. All right. When you think about baby boomers and you think about those who are left over from the greatest generation who are still alive, many of them purchase their pharmaceuticals, their drugs, at the grocery store. Well, the grocery store pharmacy counter is about to hit its expiration date. Hundreds of grocery stores nationwide are closing their pharmacies as consumers turn to other means to fill prescriptions. These pharmacies are, quote, too small to wrest competitive reimbursement rates on drugs, according to the Wall Street Journal. So let's talk about this for a second. When I think about my grandmother, God rest her soul, she used to go to Waldbaum's in Westport, Connecticut. They had a pharmacy counter. She went there once in a while. She was more a Genovese kind of girl. So when I think about the fact that they don't have a pharmacy counter anymore, if my grandmother were still alive, would she want to go to a Walgreens or a CVS? Now, here's the challenge in the market. The grocery stores don't have walk-in clinics and other services, healthcare services, that big chain drugs offer, like Walgreens and CVS and so on. Now, when you look at regional players like Hannaford or Price Chopper, they're going to pull back on their pharmacy counters without fail because they don't have the same volume pricing that, let's say, a Walgreens or a CVS or even a Walmart has. Volume pricing in terms of pharmaceuticals, frankly, in terms of any consumer packaged good, is so incredibly important. The more you buy, the less it costs you per unit, and in theory, you pass those savings onto the consumer. If you're not passing that onto the consumer in its entirety, that makes a lot of sense because you're keeping a little bit of it for profit, but you're still pricing it lower than your competitors. Now, here's the challenge. Even Walgreens and CVS are having issues. They're both closing around 300 doors. They've struggled to compete with the availability of online prescriptions. Now, that's a major problem for anyone who fills a prescription. The issue at hand is they don't have a brick and mortar overhead, a backbone that they have to pay for. They've got a warehouse, they've got fulfillment, they've got employees that process that fulfillment, and that's it. They don't have, the land tax or the real estate tax. They don't have, as high labor costs, those kinds of things as a Walgreens or a CVS does. So, of course, they can charge less for those drugs. So I have a feeling we're going to start to see a significant sea change in pharmaceuticals this year. The Vitamin Shoppe is expanding its in-store offerings with a new private label line called V Thrive. The new line includes vitamins, minerals, supplements, and essential oils with a focus on clean formulas and high-quality ingredients. V Thrive, boy, am I going to have a tongue twister on that one. Brand products are free of artificial colors, flavors, and sweeteners, and its vitamin, mineral, and supplement formulas are free of magnesium stearate, stearic acid, and titanium dioxide. The essential oils in the brand are made from USDA certified organic oils. Now, product selections include things like fish oils, multivitamins, proteins, that kind of thing. The company said that each product is put through 320 quality assurance tests, as well as third-party testing to verify purity and potency. Now, they've rolled this out to 750 doors. super supplements, and its website. So look for more ancillary distribution to come in the next several months. With respect to Vitamin Shoppe, I'm shocked it took them this long to do this. A private label line, a line that you put your brand name on as a retailer, tends to cost you less with much higher profit margins for you. You're not paying the slotting fees because it's your own store. You're going to tend to put more focus or emphasis on your brand as opposed to competing vendors, those kinds of things, because your margins are much higher. So for Vitamin Shoppe, this is a smart move. I'm just concerned perhaps that they're not looking at the vendor relationship hard enough because they're so busy trying to beat GNC and some of the online vitamin players. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it for you and report back. But speaking of Vitamin Shoppe, they're expanding into new distribution. The retailer is partnering with LA Fitness to open Vitamin Shoppes inside LA Fitness health clubs. So far they've opened 9 of them, 3 on the East Coast, Union, New Jersey, Huntington Station, New York, and Farmingville, and then 6 in Florida at Boca, Tampa, Lakewood Ranch, Dunedin, Palm Harbor, and Lake Mary. Now the shops are about 300 square feet each. They're operated and staffed by Vitamin Shoppe themselves. Now they do offer this, a curated assortment of product from their stores, as well as healthy snacks and beverages. They've got about 900 SKUs per door. They're going to look at this concept throughout the first quarter, and they're going to basically see how it's working, analyze whether the sales are going the right way, and determine whether to open more shops. I don't know that 1 quarter is going to be enough for them to really get the kind of data that they need. They're also in the early stages of exploring other avenues of distribution, potentially a department store partnership, according to the report from the Wall Street Journal. So it's interesting to see how Vitamin Shoppe is evolving, what they're looking at from a distribution standpoint. I don't know that a department store partnership is the right move for them, given what's going on in department store sales right now. It would have to be a Macy's, or it would have to be one of the smaller chains, because going into Saks Fifth Avenue would be counterproductive for them. Their sales are down. The store retrofits aren't working. When you look at Neiman Marcus, they're priced out. Nordstrom would be an interesting partner for them. But again, I don't know that that's the right move. I'm happy that they're at least exploring that, unlike other retailers who are just sitting there blaming Amazon. So kudos to the Vitamin Shoppe. All right, real quick, I want to talk about packaging and branding for a sec. There's a company that we use to fill our dogs, Snickers and Rollo, their medications. It's a compounding pharmacy called MixLab. They are a Hell's Kitchen local business. As a matter of fact, their office is like a block away from me. They are an amazing group of people. Great company. They also help out Rock 'em Rawhide, so they care about the community that they're in. And I wanted you to see an example of what real branding and brand personality is. Talk about doing this the right way. As you can see in the video, they've got a sense of humor with what they write on the sticker note to the pet from the pharmacist that's making those drugs. Each box includes a toy, and as you can see, the MixLab logo and its variants are presented throughout the entire packaging. This is incredibly important, and far too many brands overlook the importance of packaging and branding. MixLab is definitely not one of them. Brilliant company, truly caring people. They do an amazing job of taking care of our pets' medications. And to be quite frank, it's just a great company to do business with, and it's a great company if you're a customer. The interaction, the customer service, the quality of the product is just phenomenal. So thank you, MixLab. We love you guys. If you are interested in learning more, you see the URL on the screen. By all means, please log in. Really good company to work with and to give your money to. All right. Sadly, 34 years ago today, the NASA Space Shuttle Challenger exploded 73 seconds after takeoff, taking the lives of all 7 astronauts. I remember this day as if it was yesterday. I was in school, we were watching the broadcast on TV, and then to only see the space shuttle explode, it just left a pit in everyone's stomach. I mean, I was a little kid. It was, hard to watch, hard to understand at that time, especially given the emphasis and importance of the space program to America at that point in time. The only other shuttle we had was the Columbia. So for the Challenger to explode, it left a lot of questions for people saying, oh my God, does that mean the space shuttle program's over? Those kinds of things. So obviously it didn't end, and obviously we're still going up, albeit through different means these days. But for that time period, this was a very scary moment, and it truly a sad one. So God rest and God bless. All right, folks, I'm out of time. My name is Sean Patrick Hillman. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Daily Mix TV. If you have any questions, comments, or story ideas, please email thedailymixtv@gmail.com. We'll see you tomorrow on Hump Day.